Hello, I'm Bryce McDonald, Producing Director and CEO of the Cumberland County Playhouse in Crossville, Tennessee, and the current Board President for Tennesseans for the Arts. Welcome to the 24th Arts Advocacy Day. We are all excited to have you join us for this important event of arts advocacy, encouragement, and connection. TFTA is a statewide arts advocacy organization whose mission is to promote, encourage, and assist the arts in Tennessee by supporting the work of the Tennessee Arts Commission and to educate and inform its members and the public as to the state of the arts in Tennessee. Tennesseans for the Arts is the state's leading arts advocacy organization and is operated by a statewide volunteer board. Our entire board of directors from across the state want to say thank you for participating in the 24th Arts Advocacy Day. I'd like to take just a moment to introduce each of you to our board of directors. Park Kennedy, our immediate past president from Germantown. Bob Willey, board treasurer from Chattanooga. Rachel Smalling, board secretary from Cookeville. Susan Robinson from Chattanooga, who's our East Tennessee vice president. Whitney Joe from Memphis, who's our West Tennessee Vice President. Stephanie Connor from Nashville, who's our Middle Tennessee Vice President. Also joining us are Lisa Allen from Memphis, Virginia Salazar Buda from Johnson City, Marcus Cox from Memphis, Christy Dunn from Mountain City, Rachel Ford from Knoxville, Debbie Koch from Nashville, Ann Locke from Nashville, James McKissick from Chattanooga, Ken Weaver from Johnson City, and Pat Mitchell-Worley from Memphis. Our theme for today is Connecting Matters, driving support through advocacy. Our speakers and special spotlights will highlight the power and importance of the arts in Tennessee. We want to shine a light on how impactful connecting through advocacy and the arts can be to each of our organizations. And it has the ability to build and strengthen our communities through visual art, dance, music, literature, and performance. Let's together amplify our voices and show our legislators how much we value the arts in Tennessee. Our support of the Specialty License Plate Program and the grants provided by the Tennessee Arts Commission. From major cultural organizations to grassroots community centers, TFTA acts as a unified voice that supports the arts and all of Tennesseans. Through Connection, we work to support, defend, and expand public funding for the arts, in addition to supporting our state legislators' Arts Caucus. Our primary work is devoted to defending the Specialty License Plates Program, which provides 80% of the funds granted to not-for-profit organizations by the Tennessee Arts Commission. In the 2023 fiscal year, the Specialty License Plate Program's 50-40-10 formula assisted the Tennessee Arts Commission in funding arts and cultural activities for more than 600 Tennessee nonprofits, schools, local governments. In the past 5 years, the Commission has made approximately 5,300 grants and invested more than $41 million in communities across all 95 counties in Tennessee. Those numbers show us truly that connection matters. Some of you may ask, how can my organization drive support through advocacy? Well, advocacy comes in all shapes and sizes, from having information in your programs to having it on your website, streaming information in your lobby video loops, or using the curtain speeches to share information. We can write letters and invite our legislators to our events. Some of you may be asking, who is my legislator? Well, the Tennesseans for the Arts website is an excellent source of information, and under the Advocacy tab, you can find your legislator by district in the Tennessee General Assembly. You can also learn if your legislator is a member of the Arts Caucus. The Tennessee Arts Caucus focuses their efforts on a commitment to supporting the 50-40-10 formula of our Specialty License Plate Program. The Arts Caucus currently has a robust membership of House and Senate members. Let's join Tennesseans for the Arts board member and CEO of the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra, Rachel Ford, at the Knoxville Museum of Art, as she had the unique opportunity to learn firsthand advocacy advice from the chairman of the Arts Caucus, Senator Becky Massey.
Greetings, everyone. As Bryce mentioned, my name is Rachel Ford. I'm the CEO of the Knoxville Symphony and also a member of the Tennesseans for the Arts Board. I'm here today joined by Senator Becky Massey, And we thought today we'd have a conversation with an elected senator and also the person who is the chair of the Tennessee Arts Caucus. Thank you for your service
You're welcome.
That regard. And maybe you could give us some insider tips on advocacy, because that is one of the major points of all of our work here as we try to talk to our senators.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it is an honor to chair the Arts Caucus. It's such an amazing group of folks that are adding to the fabric of all our community across our state and helping make our state the greatest in the country.
Absolutely.
So, and as far as advocacy, I've kind of worn the hats on both sides. I used to run a nonprofit that served adults with disabilities, and I would go meet with legislators. And so I saw what worked and maybe what doesn't. And now I'm sitting on the other side of the desk and see kind of the things that are vital. But the first thing I tell people is get to know your legislators. Invite them to your events so they can understand and see firsthand that they may know about the symphony, but have they ever been to a symphony? And to really see how important it is, how much the community appreciates that. Second is, if you're keeping up with legislation, write them, call them. Do not ever send a push button email. When we all of a sudden on some topic, we get 300 emails in 15 minutes, they are not effective. We don't count them. It's one of the worst things you can do. But everybody does it now, and then we have to deal with those.
Right.
And go through them. And so by the time you've gone through 300 emails to see if any of them are from your district, you're about over it.
Talk to us about time frame. When we want to invite a legislator to our events, what's the best way we go about doing that in consideration of all of your time?
Okay. Well, we're in Nashville in legislative session Monday through Thursday from the second week of January through till we pass the budget, which is typically late April. We may go into the 1st of May. So that time frame, you really only have Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
And so your time is limited. You get that scheduled pretty heavily. So if you kind of know their schedule, that helps, because you're not sitting there. Even if you do invite them to something on a Tuesday, at least they know you're having it, and it doesn't hurt.
Right.
But the time that they're going to be more available would be the rest of the year.
Okay.
And we still go to Nashville maybe for a couple meetings. We go to some of the conferences to learn from other legislators around the country, but you're still home the majority of the time. Okay. And sometimes you may just want to have them over and have kind of just to sit down to talk with you and some of your board members. That's a good thing too. But if you know them, then it's easy for you to say, hey, here we're doing this. Probably the easiest way to let us know about one of your events is to send us an email to our official Senate email or House members website, and you just Google the Tennessee General Assembly and go there, and you can email straight from that.
Absolutely. Well, most of us are very deeply involved in stats and facts and figures and impact numbers specifically.
Right.
Can you tell us some things that we should make sure to let our legislators know about in the arts community about how we impact our communities?
Well, obviously, economic impact. Number of people you employ is always big, and that feeds into the economic impact. It's always nice when you can show how many counties come to your events if you know it, because it's always nice to see things that are either regional or statewide impact that is using your facility or coming to your performances, and just, how you're making your community better. We've got 10 performances a year. We're going in, we bring school kids in through, some of the arts grants or different things. And then also maybe how you're using the arts grants that you get.
Wonderful. You also serve as chair of the Senate Transportation Committee. Talk to us about the specialty license plate program and what you think are the main points that everyone should know about.
Well, I think as a former nonprofit exec, I think it's great. The more we can help, the better. I think one of the last years it was $9 million in arts grants. They went to, it was every single county, all 95 counties in Tennessee, which I think is really important, and the number of people that it affects. And 80% of that 9 million came from the license plates. So it's a great thing, a great program that helps a lot of groups that maybe aren't as big on fundraising, but they can do it otherwise, and this helps them, all kinds of groups.
Wonderful. As we wrap up here, any other points you might tell us to focus on as we tell our story and to better tell our story even?
Well, like I said, when you meet with legislators, even if you're, let them know if you're a part of an arts organization and which one it is. Thank them for their support of the specialty license plate and the arts grants, and let them know that. If you're talking to them about something else, that's okay too. You can still say, hey, I'm here talking to you about this issue, and as long as they're going to be polite now. And just say, but I am a part of the Knoxville Museum of Art board, or I volunteer at the Knoxville Museum of Art or the Symphony, or all our great groups here in Knoxville.
Well, thank you, Senator Massey. We appreciate your service and your support of the arts. That goes without saying, but we will thank you again. You make a difference to all of us, and we're very grateful for it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Whitney Joe. I am Vice President of Tennesseans for the Arts, representing West Tennessee. I'm also the Managing Director of Playhouse on the Square, right here in the heart of Midtown Memphis. I have the privilege and the honor today to introduce a group that I could not be more proud of, Casa Teatro, the only bilingual arts group in the state of Tennessee. They provide bilingual education and transformative multicultural experiences that showcase the vibrancy and diversity of Latin American art and culture. Though it started as an idea in 2006, Monica and Dormar took over in 2010, and for the past 14 years have grown Casa Teatro into one of the most vibrant and exciting groups in the city and in the state. Not only do they produce fabulous theater and performance pieces, but they also involve the community with Latin Fest 901, Day of the Dead Parade and Festival, Afro Latino Week, Christmas Fiesta, and the Latin Soul Awards. They have shined a light on the Latin community here in Memphis and across the state of Tennessee, and I could not be more proud to call them my friends. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody, Casa Teatro.
Hello everyone, I am Dorimar Ferrer, the Executive Director of Casa Teatro Bilingual Theater Group.
Hola a todos, my name is Monica Sanchez. I'm the Artistic Director and co-founder of Casa Teatro Bilingual Theater Group.
Casa Teatro is the first and only bilingual theater organization in the state of Tennessee.
Everything we do is bilingual, English and Spanish, from our plays, workshops, and special events. We believe it's important to learn through the arts, and what a better way sometimes doing special events like festivals and some place for kids, for adults, for everybody. We are open to everybody. Even when you don't speak Spanish, you are welcome in Casa Teatro.
Yeah, we want to share, we want to educate, we want to celebrate the Latino culture in the community. We want to bring communities together.
I always say, the more you know about your neighbor, the stronger the community is gonna be. So let's learn about your neighbors. We are your neighbors, and let's learn through the arts. Every time you support the arts, you help the community. Tienes que apoyarlo. I think it's important to know that everything that you do, everything the kids learn, theater, music, visual arts, will help them not to be just an artist, but to be better adults.
Sí, cada vez que apoyamos las artes, el arte, la música, el teatro, no solamente hacemos artistas, hacemos una mejor comunidad a nuestros niños. Cuando apoyamos el arte desde niños, creamos mejores adultos, mejores comunidades.
Exactly. One of the things we always say when people ask us, I want to be part of Casa Teatro, but I'm not bilingual. You don't have to be bilingual to be part of Casa Teatro.
No, no necesitas ser bilingüe para ser parte de Casa Teatro. Solo querer aprender otra cultura, otro lenguaje, ser parte de la comunidad.
You have to be open mind, but also open heart, because you're going to start learning about another community.
El arte nos une como comunidad, nos une como familia, como amigos, nos hace parte de esta hermosa ciudad. Así que los invitamos a que compartan el arte, que apoyemos el arte en nuestra ciudad y en todo el estado. Abrimos para todo porque el arte nos une.
Arts and culture got together, so support the arts, support the community, support the Latino community and the artistic community. We really want to do more, and more than anything, we want the people to know and understand that we are not that different. We have a lot of things that we can enjoy and work together. So if you support the arts, you support all the communities.
El arte nos une como comunidad y cuando apoyamos el arte se unen todas las comunidades. Así que sigamos apoyando el arte.
If you want to enjoy Casa Teatro, you're welcome. Bienvenido. The worst thing that can happen when you're part of Casa Teatro is that you're going to end saying, buenas tardes, gracias.
Nos puedes seguir en nuestra página web, casateatro.org. Los esperamos.
Adiós.
Hi, I'm Mary Kilbride, Chair of the Tennessee Arts Commission, and I'm so pleased to join you today in discussing the importance of the arts and arts advocacy in our communities. As we gather today to raise our voices in support of the arts, I would like to acknowledge my fellow commissioners representing each congressional district across the state. From District 1, Dr. Nancy Dishner from Johnson City and Cindy Ogle from Gatlinburg. District 2, Steve Bailey and Jenny Boyd, both from Knoxville. Steve Bailey is currently serving as our vice chair. I'm from Chattanooga, as well as Sarah Cantrell from Cleveland, and we both represent District 3. District 4, Ann Davis, who is from Murfreesboro. District 5, Stephanie Connor from Nashville. District 6, Mark Burnett from Cookeville, and he's the commission's secretary. District 7, Kurt Winstead from Franklin. And District 8, Amy Rhodes from Memphis and Jason Rudd from Jackson. And finally, District 9, Rachel Knox from Memphis. Thank you all for your work and dedication to the mission of the Tennessee Arts Commission to cultivate the arts for the benefit of all Tennesseans and other communities. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary, and thank you to all of our commissioners. We are so thankful for all the work that you do for us. And now, to give us a little more in-depth about our license plate program, we give you the TFTA education consultant, Molly Pratt.
Good morning. I'm glad that you all are joining us again for another Arts Advocacy Day. I wanted to tell you a little bit about a legislative update before I talk to you a little bit about the specialty license plate program. This year, the General Assembly came to town in early January and had hopeful plans of finishing by mid-April. Unfortunately, they had to take a week off in January because of the snowfall that occurred. And so it looks like they're back on track for an April closure, but it's probably going to be closer to the 25th or 26th of April before they finish. In late January, last month, the governor proposed his budget for this year, which is $52.6 billion. And in terms of activity around that discussion, the finance committees in both the Senate and the House are preparing budget hearings and listening to the different departments and organizations speak to the Finance Committee about their plans and what's included in the governor's budget. And then we should see the governor's supplemental budget arrive sometime in late March, which will tie up all the loose ends from the administration's perspective. And then we'll see people move towards closing probably in that third week of April. What you're going to probably see in the newspaper is people talking primarily about, I think, the hot button issue this session is going to be around the governor's proposed Freedom Scholarships, which are outside of the education formula for funding, but is something that he is promoting in terms of individual stipends, for lack of a better way to describe it, for a lottery type situation where families can apply for around $7,000 in order to promote his ideas surrounding school choice. That's probably going to get the most attention, but of course we always turn our attention to the specialty license plate program. And again, we're fortunate this year to have Chairman Becky Massey and Chairman Dan Howell in the House carry an omnibus bill, which will be amended with all the new proposed specialty license plates. Senate Bill 1593 by Chairman Massey and House Bill 1608 by Chairman Howell in the House will probably start moving towards the end of March, when the standing committees will begin to shut down. The reason why they wait a little while to be able to pass that bill is to give all the legislators time to file any amendments, or in this case, proposed license plates, before they wrap it up, roll it up, and then pass it as one bill on the floor. So in the past, one of the things that we have talked about each Arts Advocacy Day, when we've been doing a virtual Arts Advocacy Day, is the history of the specialty license plate. A couple of years ago, you all were able to hear from the chief architect of the original program, now Congressman Steve Cohen, who was Senator Steve Cohen at the time he initiated the idea back in the 80s. We've also talked about the history of the 50-40-10 program, which is the primary funder of the specialty license plate program as we know it today. And we've talked a lot about that because Tennesseans for the Arts' main reason for existing is to promote and protect that formula. That the formula 50-40-10 means that the sponsoring organization gets 50% of the sale and the Arts Commission gets 40%. 10% goes to the highway fund. And so that is the mainstay for many of the grants that we give out here at the Arts Commission, because it is an important component of the public funding and dedicated revenue that is used to support the arts. But what I want to talk to you all about today is something we haven't discussed, and that is the personalization of a specialty license plate, or the personalization of a plate, any kind of plate for that matter. You know, there are two general plates, the blue plates that were recently introduced by the Lee administration. There's one that is perfectly plain, and then there is one that has the slogan, "In God We Trust." And right now in Tennessee, there's just south of 6 million plates total. And the one thing that is really important for you to know is that in terms of those 6 million plates, there are just south of 1 million specialty tags. So the good news about that is there's a lot of room for growth. And that's where you, as advocates and promoters of the importance of the specialty license plate program, can come into play. So the one piece that we've talked about in terms of the specialty plate program that we haven't really focused on in large measure is the personalization. Personalization is an extra $35 on top of the $35 it costs to get a specialty tag. That $35 minus the cost of production, and that number changes because of the cost associated with it, is pure revenue for the Arts Commission. It's pure revenue for grants to all of you and your colleagues in all 95 counties. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about it today is it's someplace that I think we can see even more growth. And I would encourage you all to think about ways, if you don't have a personalized tag, to get one for yourself. And if you do, to not only promote a specialty tag for the arts, but to promote with your neighbor, friend, family member, specializing that by personalizing it and sending even more money to the arts. Now, the interesting thing about the personalization is the fact that online, and you all may know that you cannot order a specialty tag online. You have to go to the clerk's office. But if you get a specialty personalized tag, it can be done online, which in essence could possibly save you a trip to the clerk's office. If you live in a smaller community, you might be able to get your clerk online or on the phone and find out whether or not they have the specialty tag that you want to purchase. But if you can't, if you live in a larger suburban or urban county, it's very difficult to get a live person on the phone. So you may trot down to the clerk's office and find that they don't have the plate you want in stock. But if you go online to the Tennessee Department of Revenue, and we'll put this on our website too, you can order a personalized plate, pay the first $35, and then when it is available and ready for your pickup, you make one trip to the clerk's office, and there you would pay the additional $35 for the specialty portion of the tag. The one thing that I think is really important is that pure revenue that we haven't really talked too much about, and all the different ways that it could be helping us promote the arts all across the state. So I hope you'll give personalization your own consideration if you don't have a personalized plate. And if you do, encourage someone else to do it. It's easy to do. You can give them 3 choices because they have to check to make sure that no one else has that particular personalization already in use. And you just fill out the form. You can choose between 3 and 5 letters, and they center it up. So for those of you who are particularly concerned about aesthetics, it will be centered on your plate properly, and then they'll produce it and have it ready for you to pick up. Now, the other thing I'm going to tell you, because I just recently got my new specialty tag, is don't forget when you get to your clerk's office, you have to have your plate in hand. So be sure and take a screwdriver or a wrench or whatever you need to be able to get the bolts off your tag, and make sure that that is ready to be taken off when you get there. Otherwise, you're going to make a trip in and you're going to find out you don't have everything you need, which is the plate you're taking off your car. And then you have to go back out. And if you're like me, you have to crawl in your trunk, get into your tire kit, find a wrench, and then wave somebody down because you didn't have enough strength in your arm to be able to get the lugs off. So I'm giving you all fair warning that you can prepare and be ready to roll, and it makes it even easier. So I hope you'll consider encouraging other people in your organization or around your circle of friends, and do one more thing for the arts. You're doing a lot, and we appreciate it. But we've always said, support the arts, bolt them to your car. And this is another way that you can do that by personalizing your plate. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. You're going to hear from lots of encouraging people who support the arts as well. And you're going to learn that Tennessee is doing great. But we can't stop. We need to keep going. Thanks so much. Hope you all have a great day.
I'm Park Kennedy, immediate past president of Tennesseans for the Arts, and I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, Ann Pope, Executive Director of the Tennessee Arts Commission. Ann is one of the smartest, most dynamic, and passionate leaders I have ever known. And for the past 12 years, she has dedicated herself to the Tennessee Art Commission, working to cultivate the arts in Tennessee for the benefit of all of its citizens and communities. I am told that she actually attended her very first Arts Advocacy Day back in 2012, right before she actually assumed her current role at the Tennessee Art Commission. Today, Ann oversees a small but mighty staff who work diligently year-round, not only administering grants across all 95 counties in the state, but constantly seeking out opportunities to improve access to arts funding for artists and arts organizations in Tennessee. When the pandemic hit Tennessee artists and arts nonprofits hard in 2020, and Governor Bill Lee approved the historic Tennessee Nonprofit Arts and Cultural Recovery Fund, Ann and her team at the Tennessee Art Commission were given the gigantic, some would say Herculean task of granting out $80 million over 3 years from the state of Tennessee's $3.725 million American Rescue Plan funds. We are now in the second half of the final year for the distribution of those grant funds, and the critical work that she and her team are doing to administer those funds and to help grantees navigate this entire process is ongoing. Speaking as the Director of Development at the Germantown Performing Arts Center, an organization that is extremely grateful to have had access to those recovery grant funds, their guidance and support during this process has been absolutely invaluable. Under her leadership in the past 5 years, the Tennessee Art Commission has made and overseen 5,300 grants and invested more than $41 million in communities across the state. Last year, in FY23, Tennessee Art Commission gave out $9 million through 1,048 annual rolling grants, which does not include the recovery grant funds. These grants serve students and teachers, artists and arts organizations across all 95 counties and engage 3.6 million children and youth in person and 14.9 million adults. That's phenomenal work, folks. Here to tell you more about the Tennessee Art Commission's amazing mission carried out on behalf of all who love and cherish the arts across the state is Tennessee Art Commission Executive Director Ann Pope.
Hi, my name is Ann Pope, and I'm Executive Director of the Tennessee Arts Commission. Thank you for joining us today for Arts Advocacy Day to talk about the arts in Tennessee. I'd like to first acknowledge our chair, Mary Kilbride, who you will hear from today. I'd also like to thank Bryce McDonald, President of Tennesseans for the Arts, as well as members of the Tennessee Arts Caucus, one of the oldest and strongest legislative arts caucuses in the nation, and its chair, Senator Becky Massey. Let me tell you a little bit about the Tennessee Arts Commission. We are the primary state agency that invests and promotes in the arts in Tennessee, and that is our mission, to cultivate the arts for the benefit of all Tennesseans and their communities. We do that through a variety of investments and programs, and we have a commitment to increase access to opportunities for all to participate in the arts in this state. For a second year in a row, the Commission has distributed $9 million in grants, the most ever for our agency. We did that in the form of over 1,000 grants to 700 different grantees in all 95 counties. The grants are split almost evenly between nonprofits, schools, and local governments. We know and continue to see that the arts are a strategy and a way to support lifelong learning, tourism, economic benefits, health, and overall quality of life in Tennessee. We all know the arts are important, and in fact, the arts help make Tennessee, Tennessee. We are here today to support and promote and advocate for the arts. The Tennessee Arts Commission so appreciates the partnership it has with Tennesseans for the Arts. And we so appreciate the work that TFTA does to support the arts and to champion the state's primary funding source for the arts, the Specialty License Plate Program. TFTA works tirelessly to communicate the importance of the Specialty License Plate Program to people all across the state, and it's working. One important tool that we all can use to help tell the story of the impact of the arts in this state, as well as in your own communities, is the Arts and Economic Prosperity 6. or AEP6 for short. AEP6 is the largest national study documenting the economic activity of the nonprofit arts and culture sector. It's conducted every 5 years, and AEP6 was released in October. In Tennessee, AEP6 documented $1.36 billion in economic activity, attracting audiences of 16 million and supporting over 23,000 full-time job equivalents in this state. The commission worked with 21 local study partners as well as the 9 development districts to produce the statewide study, as well as customized city, county, and regional reports. These reports can be helpful in illustrating the importance the arts have in communities all across the state. If you are interested in a local or regional study for your area, go to our website, TennesseeArtsCommission.org, and look under the About Us menu, and you will see the link for AEP6. There you will also see the state's study summary, as well as the 9 regional summaries and all of the local, the 21 local reports. I'd just like to thank all who participated in this study, and it's an important tool in showing the arts are important in this state and in your community. I'd like to thank everybody again for being here today and for supporting, promoting, and advocating for the arts in Tennessee. Thank you again.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Connor. I'm honored to serve on the TFTA board and to represent the 5th Congressional District on the Tennessee Arts Commission. And I'm thrilled to be tasked today with introducing the Arts Center of Cannon County. Nestled in the heart of Cannon County, surrounded by vast rolling hills, lies the Arts Center's 18,000 square foot facility that acts as the home for artists all around the Middle Tennessee area. From beautiful galleries to large halls to modern theater spaces, the Arts Center has everything a creative mind would need to showcase their craft. The Arts Center's mission is to foster an environment in its community for preserving their traditions, encouraging creative expression, providing educational experiences, and enhancing the appreciation of arts excellence. We are so proud of the Arts Center of Cannon County and thank them for being a part of Arts Advocacy Day today.
Nestled in the hills of Cannon County lies a hidden gem, the award-winning Arts Center of Cannon County.
The Arts Center is a nonprofit arts center. We encompass 2 galleries, the Burger Gallery and the Cannon Hall. We have a theater space that holds 222 people. We have a gift shop. We have a classroom that we can host dance classes and other classes in. We have a fermentation kitchen that rents from us, and a large white oak basket display case.
Classified as one of the best small art towns in America, the Arts Center has entertained the Middle Tennessee region for the past 40 years with their family-friendly programming.
We offer a lot of great programming here at the Arts Center, from theatrical programming with our Main Stage series and our Young at Arts series, which all feature volunteer performers, crew, all of the above, and they just do an amazing job. We also offer a concert series, which brings in a whole different type of crowd to see tribute artists from all around the region, from Beatles tribute to Led Zeppelin tribute. And a new series we have starting up is our Black Box series, which will be hosted in Cannon Hall. This offers a more intimate space and programming for those who prefer more of a non-musical drama or comedy.
Over the past 30 years, the Arts Center has steadily grown their education programming.
The education program here at the Arts Center of Cannon County, we have a lot of exciting things that we do. The biggest thing that we do is we put on 3 school matinee shows. So that's 3 shows throughout the school year that we have a bunch of schools from around Middle Tennessee area come to see. By the end of all 3 shows, about 9,000 students and teachers see those productions. And all those productions feature students either in the show or behind the scenes. We also have our summer conservatory program, which is great for novices or for seasoned veterans of the stage. There's a lot that you can learn, and it's for a variety of age groups. We start with incoming first graders all the way to incoming seniors in high school, and it's working together as a team to put on a show in 2 weeks. And actually less than 2 weeks because we don't meet on the weekends. And there the students get acting, voice, and dance lessons from very, very, very talented teachers in the Middle Tennessee area. Another very exciting part of the education department is working hand in hand with the Cannon County school systems. For almost 10 years, there has not been a theater program within the school systems, and we're very happy to be working side by side Cannon County Middle School to have theater classes, acting classes, and even full-scale productions for some of the classes to kids who have never seen a show or stepped foot in a theater before. And the middle school is only 2 years old, but within those 2 years, there's already 3 school productions put on by kids who have never acted or done anything in the world of theater before.
Along with performing arts, the Arts Center offers many outlets for craft artists as well. Every September, the Arts Center is the host for the annual White Oak Craft Fair, which features craft artists from around the region.
We host a White Oak Craft Fair. It runs 2 days, and we have around 75 to 80 artists here. It brings in around 25 to 4,500 people, and it's a great outlet for a lot of the artists. And those that do come to the White Oak Craft Fair also put stuff in our gift shop for year-round shopping. We advocate for the arts in several ways. We promote the arts plates by posting on social media and on our website. It's also on posters in our lobby. It's on our digital signage outside and inside, and on our front desk. And all of our full-time employees also have arts plates. Funding from the Arts Plates program assists the Arts Center in bringing programming and educational activities to our community and beyond.
We are thrilled to have our next guest with us today, Kelly Barsdate from the National Assembly of State Art Agencies, or NASA. Kelly is the Chief Program and Planning Officer for NASA. She draws on a deep knowledge to advise and train state arts agency staff, council members, constituents on public value fundamentals, effective advocacy, strategic planning, program design, and evaluation practices. We are grateful to Kelly for her invaluable support to Tennesseans for the Arts and the Tennessee Arts Commission. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Barsdate from the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies, otherwise known as NASA. We work with all the state arts councils, just like the Tennessee Arts Commission in the 50 states. I have a great job. I get to work with advocates from all across the country, so thanks for including me in your Advocacy Day program. I missed you last year, but I'm happy to be back to offer some national context for the work that you all are doing. Some of you know me, and those who do know that I'm a little bit of a data nerd, right? My dad was a scientist, and my mother was a state arts council chair. So it's basically my destiny to study state arts councils for a living. And I've spent the last 32 years doing just that, crunching the numbers. And when I look at the data, Tennessee really does shine. Let me show you what I mean. Your state funding for the arts is on a positive upward trajectory. The national trend has been heading up too, but you can see from the chart that Tennessee has done better and been less volatile than the national norm. It shows that your advocacy is working. Zooming in on 2024, Tennessee is ranked 17th in the nation for per capita funding at about $1.53 a person. That's a respectable number. It is worth sustaining and worth growing. Now, how does that compare to neighboring states? Your legislators may not be too interested in New York or Minnesota, but they probably do keep an eye on what's happening right next door. So here's what I would call your friendly competition slide. Tennessee is doing better than many other Appalachian neighbors. But Missouri, South Carolina, and Ohio have historically been ahead of you on a per capita basis, and this year Mississippi hopped ahead too. As you know, about 80% of the funds that the Tennessee Arts Commission grants out comes from license plate fees. You're one of 16 states with a specialty tag, but Tennessee's program is by far the most productive. Some states really do struggle with the sales of their arts tags, but you folks do a great job of that, and the structure of your program helps you to realize a really meaningful return. You bring in more than 3 times what California does, which is just incredible considering the size of that state. All this goodness doesn't happen by itself. It takes your work to promote the plates combined with strong legislative support for the statute. Picking up on that legislative theme, one of the really distinctive things about the arts is that it has the power to be a consensus issue that legislators from all walks of life can get behind. It's worth reminding them about that. Everybody wants their kids to do well in school. The arts do that. Everybody wants restaurants and retailers in their community to do well. The arts do that. Everybody wants tourists to come and spend their money and then go home again. The arts do that. Everybody wants to live healthier lives. The arts support that. And we all benefit from shared positive experiences that bring people together. The arts offer those too. So look for opportunities to highlight those kinds of consensus points when you talk with state and local officials. Don't dwell on what you lack or what you need. Focus on what the arts contribute to the economy, to education, and community life. So I've met a lot of elected officials in my time, and most of them are eager to hear from constituents like you and are going to be very receptive to your stories and to your data. But every once in a while, I'll encounter a skeptic, right? Somebody who thinks that the arts are great, but doesn't think that government ought to be involved. When I meet someone like that, I respectfully offer a few points to consider. It takes both public and private arts funding to have a healthy creative ecosystem. Government devotes a lot less money to the arts than the private sector does, so the investment's modest, but the bang for the buck is outstanding. There are special things that public dollars do that private dollars don't. Public dollars make sure that all communities have a chance to experience the arts. Only about 5% of private funding goes to rural areas, for instance. But public dollars make sure rural communities get funded. That's why the Tennessee Arts Commission grants go to all 95 of your counties. Public dollars make the arts more affordable to low-income families, more accessible to people with disabilities, and they help organizations to leverage support from other sources. So I've said this before to my Tennessee friends, and I'll say it again today. You all should feel so very, very proud of what you've accomplished in this state. But please do not take that success for granted. Working at NASA, I've seen some very bizarre things go down in other states, including some of your neighbors. I've seen dedicated funding mechanisms get shortchanged or siphoned off for other causes. I've seen really good work wither on the vine for want of a state investment. So my message is this: never ease up on advocacy, never miss a moment to build your bench of legislative support. You can do this today and year-round by thanking elected officials and helping them see how their support of your work ultimately serves the public. So I'll close by thanking Tennesseans for the Arts and the Arts Commission for inviting me to join you. And thanks to everyone tuned in today for making our world a better place through the arts. Have a great Advocacy Day.
Good morning. I am honored to introduce Christian J. Collier of Chattanooga to you. He is a Black Southern writer, arts organizer, and teaching artist. He is also a poet and musician who has been called a street beatnik, a spoken word rock star, and an artist to watch. Christian is the author of the 2024 book, Greater Ghost, and the chapbook, The Gleaming of the Blade, which was a 2021 editor's selection from Bull City Press. His works have appeared in North American Review and the Michigan Quarterly Review, among others. A 2015 Lost Spoken Word Immersion Fellow, he is also the winner of a 2022 Porch Prize in Poetry and a 2020 Pro Forma contest from Grist Journal. This current year, the Tennessee Arts Commission has awarded Christian with an Individual Artist Fellowship Grant. This grant recognizes outstanding professional Tennessee artists who add to the cultural vitality of the arts in the state. I give you Christian J. Collier.
So my name is Christian J. Collier. I'm a writer originally from Slidell, Louisiana. Very few people apparently have heard of it. I've been here in Chattanooga, Tennessee long enough to claim it. And I am a writer. That's mainly how I identify. That's kind of the hub of everything I do. Poetry has been the community that has given me the most love and life. I started writing seriously in 1998 in order to try to woo a girl, which did not work out. So did not get the girl, but I got the craft and a pretty cool life. So I've been really stunningly blessed in the arts, and I have been trying to give that back to the community and try to open up doors for other people so that they can also live their literary dreams too. And I just thought if I could do something to time travel and to try to help in some way, like 15-year-old me, what would I do? So that laid the foundation for a number of things that have come since. So I've been doing workshops. I used to do a workshop for teens called Manifest Voices, where I would teach them about poetry, regardless if they want to be the slam champion of North America, or they want to have a book one day on the shelf at Barnes & Noble. I wanted to show them how to navigate in both realms, right? So that, a number of workshops. I started an arts initiative called the Plug Poetry Project a couple of years ago in 2019, and that had a reading series where I would bring really notable poets to town to work with the community for free. I didn't want any financial or distance barrier to impede anybody wanting to come out and learn about the craft. Outside of that, we've been doing open mics, and since the pandemic hit, we've been doing virtual open mics, because one thing that taught me, and I think probably taught a great majority of the world, is that the world as we knew it became a flat place in many instances. And so there are no limitations in terms of distance and boundaries, and we're able to have people from all over the country, and in some cases over the world, be able to share space and work with our local community. I am one of the 3 winners of this year's grant, and for me, I'm primarily known as a poet, so the funding that I'm still so thankful to receive is currently being utilized to help me get my master's degree. I want to be able to teach at the college level, and so this is helping me to make that dream come true, and also to hone myself a little bit more as a writer. And it's just really a blessing to be able to just be acknowledged really at a local level. I think that often that tends to be the hardest nut to crack. I've been fortunate to have received awards and everything from all over the country, but to be able to have my own state recognize the work that I've been doing, that's one of the highlights for sure. One of the things that always disappoints me is if we're solely talking about poetry, and I ask somebody, who do you like to read? Who are some of your favorites? And it's all people who've been, dead for at least like 40 or 50 years, right? And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, right? But I just think that if you're trying to actively publish work now, right, then you have to have some sort of an end to what is currently being done and what's currently happening. And but reading is a way that you can immerse yourself into that realm, and again that conversation, and you can also start to build your lineage. So if you have Langston Hughes was my favorite. You can trace that lineage through Yusuf Kamanyaka and maybe Reginald Dwayne Betts, right? Contemporary guys of different generations. But reading is actually how you do that. And if you read enough, you can start to see yourself being in conversation with some of your literary heroes too, right? And I think that's such an important thing of knowing where your home is and what your voice is doing.
Good morning. I am Bob Willey, and I am treasurer of the Board of Directors of Tennesseans for the Arts. We're on the set of the Chattanooga Theater Center for August Wilson's 7 Guitars. I'm here to introduce Christy Dunn, Executive Director of the Johnson County Center for the Arts. Johnson County Center for the Arts is a comprehensive arts center that provides classes, arts, and enrichment experiences, and a gallery for local artisans. With the local arts community and Appalachian culture, their objective is to provide a place for artists of varying ages, abilities, and interests to flourish by offering encouragement, growth, and learning. The center is a small rural arts organization doing big things for their community and for the state of Tennessee. Christy Dunn is an award-winning mathematics and arts educator and taught for 10 years in Carter and Johnson County schools. As an artist, Christy creates paintings and murals to tell the stories of makers and the power of the arts to uplift the human spirit. She is a member of the Guild of Realism and American Women Artists, and her works can be seen in galleries throughout the Southeast. It is my pleasure to introduce Christy Dunn, a first-year member of the Board of Directors of Tennesseans for the Arts.
Hi, I'm Christy Dunn, Director of Johnson County Center for the Arts, where our mission is to empower our community and bring them together through the arts. We're a small, rural mountain community in the far northeast corner of Tennessee. To get to Johnson County, you have to go over a mountain or around a lake and through miles of dense, breathtakingly beautiful Cherokee National Forest into the heart of Appalachia. This relative isolation has held back economic progress, but it has also preserved a unique culture and dialect that has deep roots in Scotland and Ireland. Ballads from the old country still live in these mountains. They've been passed down, knee to knee, from generation to generation for hundreds of years. The Center for the Arts is a gallery where our local artisans can sell their wares. It's a place to meet for coffee and share inspiration. It's a place where mentorships flourish and heritage passes from one generation to the next. When we started our work a decade ago, there was no place to see art here, nowhere to find an art class, and no public art. Today, people make the trip to Johnson County just to visit our gallery and walk our mural mile. We have a vibrant, busy classroom, and when the weather is good, you can often find a group of musicians gathered on our picket porch. The murals and sculpture on our mural mile tell the story of Johnson County's unique musical heritage. Many of these projects have been funded by the Tennessee Arts Commission with revenue from the sales of specialty license plates. A 3-day festival called Long Journey Home has grown out of the unveiling of these murals and public art projects. The festival includes a musical heritage tour where folks visit heritage sites like the little house where Doc Watson's first album was recorded, and hear heritage music played by keepers of the true vine. The musical heritage tour always ends at a place that is sacred to me. This is my grandpa, Fiddlin' Fred Price's home place, and it's where I spent the happiest days of my childhood. It's also the place where I learned that making, drawing, painting, writing, hearing beautiful music is powerful medicine for dealing with the adversity of life. And life holds so much adversity for children in our part of the world. Appalachia is not all old-time music, gardens, and molasses making. Our people face relentless poverty, and nearly every family has been touched by alcoholism, addiction, or trauma. Evelyn Cook, visionary and president of our board, says, if the world is going to be saved, it will be saved through the arts. And I believe this to the depths of my soul. So a large part of the work at the Center for the Arts is providing access to classes and events that allow people of all ages and abilities to benefit from the resiliency that comes from making art, experiencing art, and building social connections. Funding from the Tennessee Arts Commission has amplified our community's investment in these programs and made it possible for us to offer quality, affordable classes and even scholarships when they're needed. At Johnson County Center for the Arts, we are proud members of Tennesseans for the Arts, and we are so grateful for the funding that makes it possible for us to provide programs that bring our community together, build pride in our unique heritage, and create resilience in our youth. These programs make a real and meaningful difference for our community. We work to keep our legislators informed and invite them to be part of events. When they visit, they see firsthand how their investment in the license plate program impacts our community and brings people together. At events and on flyers, in our e-newsletter and social media, we tell everyone who will listen about the license plate program. But in a small, rural town, relationships are everything. Advocacy here means building trust and deep connections. Face-to-face conversations with neighbors who share our goals and values are where we see the most impact. When people see how the arts honor our traditions and bring us together, they want to be part of it. Sometimes that means showing up and volunteering their time and talents. Sometimes that means giving financially. And as we get the word out about the impact of the license plate program, it also means joining Tennesseans for the Arts and getting a specialty license plate. Our board recently earned the full board participation badge. Effective arts advocacy is different for every community, but building meaningful, authentic connections is a great starting place anywhere.
Aramont is an old, it's a piece of our heritage here in East Tennessee and in Gatlinburg. It has been here for, how old are we?
112 years.
I knew we were over 100 years, but I didn't know exactly, so 112 years. And it was first chartered to bring art and craft and support an art education here and an art experience that we really didn't have at the time, but we had so many talented artisans around the area. And so it has grown and molded into really a world-class institution here, and but still with the basic mission of art outreach.
weeks and weeks and weeks are taken up with 1 week and 2 week workshops where we cultivate great instructors, 150 or more instructors who come from around the world to teach specific classes in their media or in multimedia opportunities. And then students also come from around the country and around the world to participate in those 1 and 2 week workshops. We're really fortunate too to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships for those. So we really try to look at accessibility as also an important piece of our diversity, equity, and inclusion activity, and there shouldn't be barriers. So one of the great things this team does so well, and the board supports so well in doing, is when there's a barrier, we identify it and then we achieve the workaround. Well, we do it in a variety of ways. I really would love Maggie to talk about, as a board member and as our president-elect of the board, what we do with our board.
Yeah, so there's a variety of ways. We look at national funding, we look at state funding, and we also don't forget our home base here. So a big portion of our advocating for the arts is education and furthering our mission to the local community and building, and I say the local community, it started geographically, but it builds with who comes here. Once you come here, you're part of our Aramont family, and we create that family with the experience, but then also with our through our marketing. And it's our belief as a board that we need to support growing our person, growing the Aramont experience, and sharing that with the world. And really through that is how we advocate. So from the ground up, we are really, really lucky with a lot of local supporters here. Also, our civic support here is just incredible. It has enabled us to become own our own campus, which is huge. That happened, almost
a decade
ago.
Yes.
And so that gave us another step in becoming more financially independent. And but we know to continue we have to have the art advocacy group, or the piece. So really it's a mixture of reaching out to those that can help us, but also educating the future generations.
I'm really proud of our board, being members of Tennesseans for the Arts, and then using that collective voice with the boards, hopefully, of other arts organizations around the state, so that we really can ensure the mission of really great, enriching arts experiences across the state continue to be lifted up, continue to be that priority. So I think one really important thing is that our board fully members themselves with this arts advocacy organization. A second piece of Aramont that I think is really important is we're teaching them about advocacy and the importance to be an ambassador, not just for the organization that you're employed by, but for the industry in which you're employed in the state in which you live. And so we feel like that's modeling good advocacy, supporting our team. In turn, we know that it supports all of us working together, whether it's through an advocacy opportunity or funding opportunities through the Tennessee Arts Commission. So just one more way that we can be involved.
Thank you for joining us today. We are so thankful to each of you for your love of the arts. Now is the time that we all must amplify our voices and show our legislators how much we value the arts in Tennessee. We have to show our support for the Specialty License Plate Program and to Tennesseans for the Arts and to the Tennessee Arts Commission for all that they do. All art disciplines, including visual arts, dance, music, literature, and performance, have the potential to reflect truth, honesty, and openness. The arts can instantly give connection to someone's life and positively affect them. Will you join us this year to connect, advocate, and support the arts in Tennessee? Tennesseans for the Arts is continuing to create more connecting opportunities across the regions of Tennessee. We seek personal engagement with our members. We want to grow our membership and drive support for the arts in Tennessee through advocacy. If you're not a member of Tennesseans for the Arts, join us today. If you are a member, be sure to renew your membership. Buy a specialty license plate and encourage someone else to purchase a plate today. Send information to your legislators and invite them to your events. I want to thank all of our amazing guests and organizations that made this Arts Advocacy Day so special. I want to thank the Tennessee Arts Commission and all the commissioners for everything that they do for us across the state of Tennessee. I want to thank Tennesseans for the Arts Board of Directors and their members for all the advocacy and work on behalf of all of our arts organizations. Remember, this video will be available on the Tennessee Arts website. We hope that you are able to use this video as an advocacy tool to your staff, to your board of directors, and to anyone who's just wanting to know more about why connecting through the arts matter. We leave you today with these 6 truths. The arts build better communities. The arts make good economic sense. The arts and education increase student outcomes. The arts enrich our quality of life. The arts are alive in Tennessee. And no matter where of your geographic location, art grows anywhere. Thank you all so much for joining us.